listening to Be Health Connected, a podcast by the St. Louis Area Business Health Coalition. Your host for today's episode is Annie Fitzgerald, BHC Manager of Wellbeing Strategy and Health Solutions.
Hello, I'm Annie Fitzgerald, and welcome back to the BHC's Be Health Connected podcast. Depression affects more than 16 million Americans and is the leading cause of disability worldwide, costing the U.S. economy over $210 billion per year in absenteeism, reduced productivity, and medical costs. In the wake of National Depression Screening Day in October, employers can consider opportunities to create workplace cultures that increase awareness, reduce stigma, and encourage help-seeking among employees. In this episode, we're joined by Emma Jellen, the Interim Director of the Center for Workplace Mental Health, to provide practical guidance for organizations to address depression and other mental health conditions all year round. Emma, thanks so much for taking the time to join us today.
Annie, thank you so much for having me. I'm so glad to be here.
Well, great. So let's begin with introductions. Can you introduce yourself and provide a little information about the Center for Workplace Mental Health?
Absolutely. As you mentioned, my name is Emma Jellen. I am currently serving as the Interim Director of the Center for Workplace Mental Health at the American Psychiatric Association Foundation. And our center team provides employers with the tools, resources, and information needed to promote and support the mental health and well-being of employees and their families. And you can find more information about us and our work at workplacementalhealth.org.
Well, great. And we'll have that information in our podcast archive. So, as a leader in the workplace mental health space, I imagine you're closely tracking the trends in mental health conditions. Can you share a little bit about the current state of mental health in America?
Yeah, our center team is constantly tracking the latest trends and statistics in mental health conditions. And, we know that 1 in 5 people experience a mental health condition, yet less than half receive the care they actually need. And during these last couple of years, the CDC has been conducting household pulse surveys that have showed a tripling and sometimes quadrupling of people experiencing symptoms of depression and anxiety, with those ages 18 to 29 experiencing the highest rate. That age group largely falls into the Gen Z category, which I'm sure you recognize, and those are our future leaders, and that is really concerning.
Certainly. I mean, those statistics are staggering. What role can employers play in addressing these mental health conditions in the workplace?
The world is changing, and I think employers are really recognizing more and more the critical role they can play in addressing mental health conditions like depression, anxiety, and substance use disorder. They're really seeing that not only is it the right thing to do, but it also impacts their bottom line, as you mentioned, right? Because when mental health conditions go untreated, it directly impacts their finances and their bottom line through absenteeism, reduced productivity, and increased healthcare costs. But even though employers are recognizing that they have this role to play, figuring out where to start can be challenging. So the center just recently released our mental health works guide, which helps employers think strategically about improving workplace mental health initiatives, taking them through these 3 broad categories that employers can make an impact on regarding workplace mental health. And those are, increasing education and raising awareness, making sure people know about the prevalence of mental health conditions like depression, which really helps to reduce stigma. The second is creating a mentally healthy culture. We hear about this more and more, right? Culture matters. So this includes, looking at policies and practices that really help foster a culture of well-being. And that might include implementing mental health training for managers, like the center's NTA at Work, which is Notice, Talk, Act at Work. And that's our 35-minute e-learning module for leaders and people managers. So they can start there in those 3 areas and really make a difference.
As employers work to fulfill that role, what resources are available to address mental health conditions in the workplace?
There are a ton of free turnkey resources for employers on addressing mental health in the workplace. And that's both on the center's site, workplacementalhealth.org, and then through Right Direction. And for those of you who may not know what Right Direction is, it's a partnership between the Center for Workplace Mental Health and Employers Health Coalition. We provide turnkey resources, high impact tools, and strategies for both organizations and individuals on raising depression awareness, encouraging help-seeking behavior, and improving workplace mental health for all, right? So if you're an employer of any size and you're looking to include resources, include newsletter articles, include virtual town hall recordings, or offer opportunities to your employees to join virtual town halls, Right Direction is for you. Again, these resources are free, and I would highly encourage any employer who's interested in learning more about resources or available opportunities through Right Direction to go to our site, rightdirectionforme.com, and subscribe to our e-newsletter, because we are constantly refreshing our website, refreshing our resources. And again, we hold monthly virtual town halls, which really provide tremendous value to both employees and employers.
Well, I know the Business Health Coalition has been a long supporter of the Right Direction program. And so for some of our employers, they likely saw the initial campaign years ago, but I know that in the last few years, it's gotten a little bit of a new look. Can you share a little bit about what has changed and how employers can utilize the new Right Direction website?
So about 2 years ago, Right Direction went through a total branding overhaul with our website and our mascot there. And it's really refreshed the site, made it more navigable, easier to locate things. And in addition to that, we now contain resources for both employers and individuals, right? So, we include a ton of plug and play resources, whether that's presentations on mental health and depression education, newsletter articles, and we even have a really cool Build Your Bear avatar that can be used for an organization's depression awareness campaign. And on the individual side, Right Direction provides resources on, self-care. We recently came out with a self-care toolkit, and that includes breathing exercises, journaling prompts, how to create a self-care plan, and setting healthy boundaries, right? Because we know that when an individual has a self-care plan and routine and engages in related activities, they have better outcomes with their mental health condition, right? Reduces symptoms of depression and anxiety. I also want to mention that, recently Right Direction has realized and recognized a need to really work hands-on with employers on, how to utilize Right Direction as part of your workplace mental health initiative. So right now, we're offering 5 employers the opportunity to work hands-on with our Right Direction team to think strategically and plan your mental health initiative. Selecting what that mental health initiative is, what resources are going to be included, and selection of those metrics for success, right? So if any employer is interested in this opportunity, they can email us at rightdirection@psych.org. And I highly encourage people to take advantage of this opportunity because it's a really tremendous value.
Well, Emma, that sounds like a wonderful resource, as you mentioned. And I want to thank you so much for your time today. We've found the Right Direction program so valuable for our employers over the years, and also find our partnership with the Center for Workplace Mental Health extremely valuable. So we really appreciate your insights. And if you are listening or are interested in learning more about the Right Direction program, you can visit www.rightdirectionforme.com.
Thank you for listening to the Be Health Connected podcast. For additional episodes or to learn more about employer resources available through the St. Louis Area Business Health Coalition, please visit www.stlbhc.org.